Okay, welcome to this video. So just to give you a little background, what these videos are about is I dedicate sort of 120 hours towards learning a new skill in 3 months that like to do with guitar, obviously. Practice into 10 hours every week for 3 months. And so in that time, I just practice with a metronome and learn a new skill. So it might be something like, the last 3 months I did alternate picking practice. And then the 3 months before that, I did sweep picking. So yeah, that's the idea basically. And so I thought about for a while what I wanted to sort of dedicate these next 3 months towards. And I couldn't really decide on something. I was thinking about maybe learning like slap guitar or like guitar tapping or something like that. So like just like, yeah, something like that. But I just thought it probably wasn't beneficial enough to learn those skills. So like in the end today I just decided I would revisit sweep picking. And so like 6 months ago I started learning that skill, and in those 3 months I got a lot better at it, and I still wasn't like happy with where I was at the end of those 3 months, but I was definitely like a lot further along the road with learning it than I was when I started. So I dedicated most of that time to doing sort of like all 6 strings at once, kind of in different patterns like that. So and I thought I was just practicing today doing that, and it's the first time I sort of practiced that for about 3 months, because obviously I was doing the alternate picking, and I was surprised with how good I was actually doing it, because I'd kind of just left it for a while and I just thought, yeah, I was okay at it but not that great, to be honest. And I think just having that time away from it was beneficial, because for some reason I just felt like I'd improved in that time that I wasn't playing it. Hopefully the same thing will happen with the alternate picking stuff I just finished. Just one reason I wanted to go back to the sweep picking was that this whole style that I kind of was practicing was kind of unique. I felt like I haven't seen many other guitarists do sort of like continuous sweep picking where it's like 6 strings, like 1 note per string kind of, and like just continuously. Like I just thought it was maybe a unique sort of approach to it that like maybe if I develop and flesh out kind of, then I might be able to develop into a unique sort of style in my guitar playing. So that's the idea anyway. So for this first week I thought I would try and practice this sort of run that I just kind of worked out a few hours ago. So and yeah, so I'll practice that. And like one thing I want to sort of improve with it is, because usually when I do it, it's just when I hit the last string, then I skip hitting it again. I'll go and then back to the B string. So, but this time with this riff, it's kind of like you're hitting the bottom and the top string twice. So it's like, and I'll check back in a week and then we'll go from there. Okay, I'm going to hop right into it. So last week I began my 3-month 10-hour project where for that length of time I'd practice my sweep picking, and it's the second time I've decided to do it. So in the last video I showed you an exercise I was going to practice over this last week, which was this one. And I've been practicing that at different speeds, so with the metronome of course. So that's the idea. And apart from that one exercise, I also practice these two. So this one. And I also decided to practice it the other way around, so this way. So that's basically going through each of the modes. So major, if that's A, and then, if I'm playing in the key of A there, and then in the next position playing Dorian, then Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, and then back to major. So pretty simple really, but I just thought that might be a good little thing to practice, just switching from one mode to the next in the next position quickly, so that kind of idea. Next week, one thing I'm going to practice is sort of this riff that I transcribed from a song called Loon by Anomaly, so it's kind of a little sweep picking sort of thing. The song's originally played by a pianist, but I just thought I would try it on guitar. So it kind of looks something like this. Wait. Sorry. So I'll practice that in different sort of ways, different positions and stuff. So I might experiment over the week and try and find some other sort of similar riffs that I can practice, and yeah, I'll catch you next week. Alrighty, so over the last week I dedicated the 10 hours to this riff. And I practiced it here as well. And finally up here as well. Yeah, I've just found myself practicing these riffs in 3 positions mainly, like just to save time, and also you kind of get the idea of what's happening after you've done a few positions. I feel like I made good progress with that one riff, which is from a Anomaly song, which I think I explained last week. But yeah, so I'm pleased with my progress this week with that, so I'm ready to move on to something else. So for this next upcoming week, I was thinking of maybe just trying to make up a few sort of sweep picking riffs myself. So just something like something pretty generic like that, or like, I don't know, just I'll come up with something. Okay, so we're coming into the beginning of week 4 now, which means that after this week I will have finished, well, I guess 4 months of doing sweep picking. Last week I mentioned that I was going to try and sort of come up with my own sort of sweep picking riffs that I could practice, and this is what I came up with. So I made up 4 different riffs, and this is the first one. So what I'm doing is I'm going down 4 strings, coming up a couple, then down another 4, and then up a couple, and then down the bottom 4 strings. So and then just up all 6 of the strings. So and then you can just keep repeating that. So that's what I did with the metronome this week. Just repeat that, so over and over again. And so that was the first of the 4 ones. So the second one I came up with was this. Yeah, that's a bit of an interesting one. It's got some minor sort of feels and then some sort of interesting kind of sounds there. So the third one was this one. So yeah, that was probably my favourite of the four. So and then the last one is just this. Wait, I think I might have messed that up. Yeah, so that's the four. And to be quite honest, it took me a long time to sort of work out those arpeggios, but I got there in the end and I managed to get the 10 hours in. So I'm still kind of getting it to flow more comfortably under my fingertips. I'm going to practice those 4 riffs again in this last week of the 4th month, and then I'll do a little wrap-up video to sort of show my progress and then work out what I'm going to do for month 5. So yeah, I'll see you back then. Okay, so that's the progress I made this month. Those exercises I just showed you are the main things I practiced. So in the next month, I'll probably do more of the same, like some of those same exercises. But one thing I want to work on more is sort of trying to combine some alternate picking with some sweep picking sort of riffs. So I'll focus more on the sweep picking because that's what I've decided to focus mainly on these months, but I will try to incorporate both so it feels more seamless when I'm improvising and I want to switch from one technique to the other. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll catch you in month 5.